Hello, my name is Dr. Jocelyn, a urologist with over 30 years of clinical practice here in Brazil. And today, I'm going to reveal a secret that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know. There's a simple food you can buy at any market or supermarket that has the power to completely transform your intimate life. I'm talking about firmer erections, more pleasure, more vitality, as if you'd gone back to your 20s. Do you know the last time that moment of personal pleasure gave you the same sensation as when you were 20 years old? Right? And it's not your fault. Let me explain something I've learned over these 30-plus years seeing men of all ages in my clinic. Men from every walk of life, every background, every story. What you put on your plate directly determines how your body functions. Everything, including the intensity of your erections, the depth of your pleasure, and the power of your climax. This is not theory. This is not something I read in a book somewhere. This is what I have witnessed with my own eyes, treating thousands of men throughout my career. I'll be direct with you because you deserve honesty. Sensitivity diminishes over time. That special moment that used to be intense, that used to send electricity through your entire body, becomes kind of bland, doesn't it? The sensitivity seems wrapped in cotton. The release becomes monotonous, disappointing. And you're left wondering what happened. Where did that fire go? Where did that passion disappear to? And look, I see men like this every day in my office. Men in their 50s, 60s, 70s who tell me exactly this. They sit across from me with defeat in their eyes, and they describe the same frustration, the same emptiness, the same sense of loss. They remember how things used to be, and they mourn what they think is gone forever. But here's the good news. The news that changes everything. It doesn't have to be this way. And I'm not talking about medication. I'm not talking about pills with side effects that make you question whether it's even worth it. I'm talking about real food. Foods that nature gave us millions of years ago and that work better than many medications out there. Foods that have been healing and strengthening men since the beginning of time. So stay with me until the end because I'm going to show you exactly what these 5 powerful foods are. And look, this isn't empty talk, okay? This isn't some internet trend or social media nonsense. Everything I'm going to say here is based on scientific studies, serious research published in respected journals, and especially on my experience of more than 3 decades treating men with these exact problems. I've seen these foods transform lives. I've seen men walk into my office broken and walk out months later feeling reborn. Let's start with the first food, and this one is the king, the absolute champion. It's beetroot. That's right, that humble red root your grandmother made salad with. That vegetable you probably walked past 100 times at the market without giving it a second thought. But let me tell you why beetroot is so incredibly powerful, why it deserves to be at the top of this list. Beetroot is full of natural nitrates, and when you eat beetroot, your body goes to work transforming these nitrates into something magical called nitric oxide. Now pay attention to this part because this is where the real magic happens. This is the secret mechanism that changes everything. Nitric oxide relaxes and dilates your blood vessels. All of them. Every single one in your body, including those that are directly responsible for your erection. When those blood vessels expand, more blood flows through them. More blood means stronger, firmer, more powerful erections. It's basic physiology, but it's profound in its effects. You know that famous little blue pill? The one that costs a fortune and comes with a list of side effects longer than your arm? Well, it works by increasing nitric oxide in your body. That's its mechanism of action. Beetroot does the same thing, but naturally, without the headaches, without the vision changes, without the chest tightness. It's practically a natural remedy, free from side effects, that you buy at any market for a few coins. A 2019 study published in the scientific Journal of Sexual Medicine followed 87 men between 55 and 72 years old. These were real men, not lab subjects. Men with real lives, real problems, real frustrations. You know what the researchers discovered? The men who consumed beetroot juice daily for 12 weeks had significant improvements in erection quality. I'm talking about firmer erections that lasted longer and with more sensitivity. The kind of erections they thought they would never experience again. Now, let me make an important observation here, because many people get this part wrong and end up frustrated. The right amount is 200 to 250 milliliters of beetroot juice per day. That's 1 glass. One single glass. You don't need to drink liters and liters. In fact, never take absurd quantities of anything because even good things in excess become harmful. Your body needs balance. Your body needs moderation. And look, there's a right way to consume it to get maximum effects. Ideally, drink beetroot juice about 2 hours before that special moment. Why 2 hours? Because that's the time your body takes to transform beetroot nitrates into nitric oxide. It's as if you're programming your body to function at its maximum potential exactly when you need it most. You can make pure juice in a blender. You can mix it with orange to make it tastier and add vitamin C. You can even eat cooked beetroot in salad if you prefer. The important thing is to consume it regularly. Consistency is everything. I usually tell my patients, make beetroot your best friend. Make it a daily companion on this journey. But beetroot offers much more than just nitric oxide. It's also rich in powerful antioxidants that combat cellular aging at its very core. And look, this applies to all cells in your body, including those down there, the cells that matter most for your intimate life. The more you protect your cells from aging and oxidative damage, the better everything works, the longer everything lasts. Now, let's move to the second food on our list, spinach. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably smiling right now. Ah, Dr. Jocelyn, spinach is Popeye stuff. That's a cartoon. That's for kids. Well, let me tell you something. Popeye knew things that most people are only discovering now. You see, spinach is the testosterone manufacturer of the plant world. It's incredibly rich in magnesium, and magnesium is absolutely essential for testosterone production in your body. Without adequate magnesium, your body simply cannot produce the testosterone it needs. It's like trying to build a house without bricks. And look, after 40, testosterone naturally begins to drop. It's normal. It's part of aging. Every man experiences this decline. But here's the thing most people don't understand. We can slow this drop dramatically with the right diet. We don't have to accept this decline as inevitable. A 2011 Italian study showed that men who consumed more magnesium had significantly higher testosterone levels. The correlation was clear and undeniable. And testosterone isn't just about sexual desire. It's about so much more. It's about energy. It's about disposition. It's about maintaining muscle mass. It's about mood and mental clarity. It's about feeling like a real man, feeling vital, feeling alive. Now, an important observation that one of my followers raised. It's true that beetroot and spinach have oxalate, and oxalate in excess can overload the kidneys. So look, if you have kidney problems, if you've had kidney stones before, talk with your doctor before greatly increasing consumption of these foods. Safety always comes first. But for most people, consuming in moderation won't cause any problem whatsoever. You can eat spinach sautéed with garlic. You can put it in omelets for breakfast. You can make green juice with other fruits. You can throw it fresh in salad. The options are endless. I recommend consuming at least 3 times per week for optimal results. And look, here's a professional tip that makes a real difference. If you sauté spinach with a drizzle of olive oil, your body absorbs all the nutrients much better. The fat helps with absorption of the vitamins and minerals. Let's now move to the third food, nuts and cashews. These small powerhouses are true energy bombs for your intimate life, and I'll explain exactly why they deserve their place on this list. Walnuts, cashews, almonds, Brazil nuts. All of them are rich in zinc. And zinc, my friend, is absolutely fundamental for testosterone production and sperm quality. Your body cannot function properly in this department without enough zinc. Without adequate zinc, your body simply can't produce testosterone the way it should. It's a non-negotiable nutrient. A study from the University of Michigan showed that men with low zinc levels had weaker erections and significantly less sexual desire. Their libido was diminished. Their performance suffered. When these men started to supplement with zinc through their diet, guess what happened? The erections improved dramatically. Desire returned with force. Energy increased noticeably. Their partners noticed the difference. But there's an important detail here. Doctor, I'm 76 years old and don't have teeth anymore. How am I going to eat nuts? Great question. And look, the answer is simple and practical. You can consume integral peanut butter, cashew butter, or even grind the nuts in the blender and mix with yogurt or smoothies. You don't need to chew hard foods. The important thing is to get the nutrients into your body however you can. Nuts are also rich in arginine, an amino acid that your body uses to produce, guess what? Nitric oxide. Again, see how everything connects beautifully? See how nature designed these foods to work together? That's why a balanced diet that includes all these elements makes such a profound difference. I recommend a small handful of nuts or cashews every single day. It can be at breakfast with your coffee. It can be as an afternoon snack between meals. It's practical, it's delicious, it's easy to maintain, and it works powerfully. Fourth food on our list, dark chocolate. And look, when I say dark chocolate, I'm talking about one with at least 70% cocoa content, okay? It's not that milk chocolate full of sugar and artificial ingredients you buy at the supermarket checkout line. That won't help you. That might actually harm you. Dark chocolate is rich in flavonoids, which are powerful compounds that improve blood circulation throughout your entire body. And look, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Everything that improves circulation improves erection. It's that simple. It's that direct. Better blood flow means better performance, period. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that cocoa flavonoids reduce blood pressure and significantly improve blood vessel function. This means more blood arriving where it needs to arrive, exactly when it needs to arrive. When the moment comes, your body will be ready. But there's more to dark chocolate than just circulation. Dark chocolate also releases endorphins and serotonin in your brain. These are the hormones of pleasure, of happiness, of well-being. So you not only improve the physical part, but also improve mood, disposition, desire, and overall mental state. You feel better about yourself. You feel more confident. Now, a point that someone raised and that is very important to address. Chocolate has sugar. Even dark chocolate has some. So if you're diabetic or have prediabetes, you need to be careful with the quantity. I recommend at most 30 grams per day, which is roughly 3 or 4 small squares. And always choose the purest possible with less added sugar. Fifth and last food on our list, watermelon. That's right, that refreshing fruit you eat in summer at the beach with your family. Watermelon is surprisingly powerful for your intimate health. Watermelon is rich in citrulline, an amino acid that your body transforms into arginine, which in turn becomes nitric oxide once again. See how nature is absolutely perfect in its design? Everything connects. Everything works together. Italian researchers discovered that men who consumed watermelon extract had improvements in erections comparable to medication use. Obviously, watermelon isn't as immediately potent as a pharmaceutical medication, but the effect is there. It's real. It's measurable. And the best part? Watermelon is delicious. It's refreshing. It's easy to find everywhere. It's affordable. You can eat the pure fruit. You can make juice. You can make fruit salad. The important thing is to consume it regularly as part of your routine. But let me tell you something most people don't know. The highest concentration of citrulline isn't in the red part of the watermelon that everyone eats. It's in the white part, that layer between the green rind and the red pulp. So when you eat watermelon, try to take advantage of a little of this white part too. Don't throw away the most powerful part. Now, let's talk about how to put all this together in a practical way. Because it's no use for me to give you all this valuable information if you can't apply it in your day-to-day life, right? Theory without practice is worthless. Look, I created a simple routine for my patients and it works remarkably well. In the morning at breakfast, you eat a handful of nuts or cashews. It can be with yogurt, it can be plain with coffee. It can be blended in a smoothie. At lunch, include a salad with beetroot and spinach, or cooked beetroot, or sautéed spinach on the side. Vary it so you don't get bored with the same thing every day. In the afternoon, eat some squares of dark chocolate with a little coffee. It's tasty and it works beautifully together. And look, if you're planning a special moment with your partner, drink a glass of beetroot juice about 2 hours before, or eat a generous piece of watermelon. Now let me tell you something I've learned in these 30 years of clinical practice. Dietary change doesn't work miracles overnight. Nobody transforms their body in a week. You need to have consistency. You need patience. You need dedication. The first results you'll start to notice in about 2 to 3 weeks, but really significant, life-changing results come after 2 to 3 months of maintaining the correct diet. And look, it's not just about eating these foods. You also need to avoid some things that work against you. Excessive soda destroys your health. Fried foods every day clog your arteries. Too much sugar damages your blood vessels. Excessive alcoholic beverages lower your testosterone. All this interferes with your intimate life. Your body is a machine, and you need to put the right fuel in that machine for it to perform at its best. I'll tell you a real story that I'll never forget. I had a patient, I'll call him Mr. Joe to preserve his privacy. Joe arrived at my office at 68 years old, completely discouraged, defeated. He sat down across from me with sadness in his eyes and told me, "Doctor, I think my intimate life is over. I don't feel anything anymore. Nothing works anymore. I've tried everything." I talked extensively with him. I listened to his story. I did comprehensive tests and discovered that there was nothing seriously wrong with him physically. It was just a matter of habits, years of poor choices catching up. I guided him to change his diet, including all these foods I told you about. I gave him hope. I gave him a plan. 3 months later, Joe came back to the office and look, I'll never forget his face as long as I live. He had a smile from ear to ear. His eyes were bright again. He told me he was feeling like he was 40 again, that energy had returned to his body, that everything was working properly, that even his wife had commented on the remarkable difference. And the best part? He didn't take any medication. It was just diet and lifestyle. Just nature doing what nature does best. Of course, it doesn't work for everyone the same way. Each case is unique. Each body responds differently. But it does work for the vast majority of men who commit to the process. Now let me be very clear with you about something important. These foods are preventive and auxiliary. They support your body's natural functions. If you have severe erectile dysfunction, if you have uncontrolled diabetes, if you have serious heart problems, you do need proper medical monitoring. Diet helps enormously, but it doesn't substitute treatment when treatment is medically necessary. And another thing, if you take blood pressure medication, especially those medications that contain nitrate, like isosorbide, you need to be very careful with excessive beetroot consumption. The combination can lower blood pressure too much, and that can be dangerous. So always talk with your doctor before making significant dietary changes. Look, I know there are many people who think that after 60 or 70 years, intimate life ends. That's just the way it is. Accept it. Move on. But that's a lie. A complete and utter lie. I see 80-year-old men who have an active and satisfying intimate life. Men who are enjoying this part of life more than some men in their 40s. The difference is in the care, in the daily choices, in the diet, in the lifestyle. That's why some 65-year-old men have more potent erections than 30-year-old guys, because they take care of their health. They eat right, they exercise, they don't smoke, they don't drink excessively. The body responds to what you do with it. It rewards good choices and punishes bad ones. So let me give you some additional practical tips that complement everything we discussed. First, hydration. Drink water, my friend, lots of water, at least 2 liters per day. Dehydration decreases blood volume, and this interferes with absolutely everything, including erection. Your blood needs to flow properly. Second tip, physical exercise. You don't need to become an athlete or spend hours at the gym, but a 30-minute walk every day already makes an enormous difference. Exercise improves circulation, increases testosterone naturally, reduces stress, and builds confidence. It works on multiple levels simultaneously. Third tip, quality sleep. Your body produces testosterone primarily during deep sleep. If you sleep poorly, if you're constantly tired, your testosterone drops significantly. So take care of your sleep like it's precious. Turn off the lights, put away your phone, create a consistent routine. Give your body the rest it needs. Fourth tip, manage stress. Stress is a silent killer of libido and erection. High cortisol, the stress hormone, directly lowers testosterone. They work against each other. So find a way to relax regularly. It can be meditation. It can be fishing by the river. It can be playing dominoes with friends. The important thing is to have escape valves for the pressures of daily life. Many people ask me about supplementation. Doctor, do I need to take zinc supplements? Do I need to take magnesium supplements? Look, the honest answer is, it depends on your individual situation. If you eat these foods I told you about regularly and consistently, you probably don't need additional supplementation. But if your diet is poor, if you genuinely can't include these foods for whatever reason, then yes, supplementation can help bridge the gap. But be careful. Never self-medicate with supplements. Excessive supplements can be harmful to your body. Too much zinc, for example, can interfere with absorption of other important minerals. So if you want to supplement, see a doctor or nutritionist to guide you properly based on your specific needs. And look, let me tell you something about this miraculous supplement business you see everywhere on the internet. You know those ads about increase your size in 30 days or guaranteed erection for 48 hours? Well, most of them are complete scams designed to take your money. There's no miracle pill. What exists is constant, dedicated healthcare over time. Now, something I absolutely cannot fail to mention: cigarettes. If you smoke, stop. Seriously, this is non-negotiable. Cigarettes destroy your blood vessels systematically, and erection depends entirely on healthy blood vessels. There's no food in the world that will compensate for the ongoing damage that cigarettes cause to your body. So, if you really want to improve your intimate life, quitting smoking must be part of your plan. And alcohol deserves mention too. Look, an occasional beer with friends won't kill anyone. Social drinking in moderation is part of life, but excessive drinking is terrible for testosterone, terrible for erection, terrible for your overall health. So, moderation always. Know your limits. Let's recap everything here to consolidate what you've learned today. Beetroot, spinach, nuts and cashews, dark chocolate, watermelon. These are the 5 powerful foods nature gave us. Include them in your routine consistently. Eat them regularly and you will see the difference. Your body will thank you. But remember, it's not just about including these 5 foods. You need to have a balanced diet overall. Quality protein from good sources, varied vegetables on your plate, different fruits throughout the week, good healthy fats like olive oil. And you need to avoid the enemies. Avoid processed foods full of chemicals. Avoid too many fried foods that clog your arteries. Avoid excessive sugar that damages your vessels. And look, I know that changing habits isn't easy. I understand. We have busy lives, we have stress, we have obligations. Sometimes it's easier to grab something quick at the bakery than to prepare a healthy salad at home. But think like this: you only have one body. One single body that needs to last for the rest of your life. So it's worth investing in it. It's worth the effort. Let me give you one last tip here. Involve your partner in this journey. Make this a couples project. Cook together. Try new healthy recipes. Transform this dietary change into something pleasurable that you share. Intimate life isn't just about the act itself, you know. It's about complicity. It's about connection. It's about mutual care and growing together. And look, if after 3 months applying all this consistently, you don't see any results, see a doctor. It could be there's some hormonal issue that needs addressing, some circulatory problem that requires attention, something that needs deeper investigation. But in most cases, these simple changes already make an enormous, life-changing difference. So that's it, my friend. More energy, more desire, more confidence, and yes, a more satisfying, intimate life than you haven't experienced in decades. All of this is genuinely possible. Nature gave us powerful tools. Scientists have proven their effectiveness. I've witnessed the transformations with my own eyes. Now it's up to you to take action and change your life.